Well, 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 look what we have here. It's the Jazza's... Okay, that was a little more intense than I intended it to be. Anyways, we have here Jazza's new pro artist. Okay, you know what? We have here the new Jazza's Pro Artist Series Illustration Collection. That was a lot harder for me than it needed to be. Now, Jazza was nice enough to send this over to me to check this thing out, but I don't think he was ready for the intense, serious breakdown I'm gonna do of this box. I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Well, let's get this wonderful box open and see what wonders are inside. I mean, I already know what's in here, but you don't. Okay, well, maybe you do, but I hope I didn't break anything in here. All right, so we start off by seeing this unbearded Jazza. By the way, welcome back to the Bearded Club. So Jazza collaborated with Spectrum Noir to create this beautiful box, and I'm a huge fan of Spectrum Noir stuff. I already have a lot of their markers, so I am really happy to be adding to my collection this massive 24 count marker set. In here, as well as a bunch of line work drawings by Jazza that you can actually use all these materials to practice on or just color on one of those rainy and snowy days. Under all this stuff, we have our perfectly curated color pencil set with yet another unbearded Jazza. It's fine, I will fix the beard in post. Okay, this one's just getting a curly Q mustache. So now comes the hard part and trying to figure out what I want to draw. Now, Jazza actually gave me a little bit of inspiration from the video he made using this box. He kind of drew like a samurai character, but I want to take the samurai character and kind of bring it into the future and kind of make some sort of like cyberpunk robotic samurai. So now I think it's time to get some concepts on paper. With this piece being more futuristic, I wanted to make sure I threw some cybernetic aspects to it. So I started off by sketching some robotic stuff like a robot arm and face. Another aspect that I wanted this character to have was a slightly more urban feel to it, like the samurai is in this large futuristic city. So I drew things like hoodies and jackets, and then I threw all this into different poses until I got this idea. I knew I wanted the piece to have a strong neon light feel to it all, so I made spots on the jacket that I could add some kind of glow effects to it. To get the cleaned up and scaled up version of this pose, I basically just snapped a picture of the sketch, brought it into Photoshop, scaled it up, and then traced it back out using my light box. So when it came to inking the final line work, I decided to start really light with the lines and then kind of work my way up. My final idea I had in mind was that I wanted the character to look almost like a comic book with its shading. So I added hard shadows throughout the entire piece, while still keeping in mind that I wanted areas to have light kind of bouncing off from the neon lights.
Drown yourself in the neon. You came to this place to hide away in the dark. You tell yourself you need to move on, but when not in the shadows can ease your broken heart. They turn the volume up, you shut your mind. Wanna escape your thoughts for a little while, but when you close your eyes, I'm by your side, right? You'll find me there dancing in the crowd. You tell yourself that it's over, but you see my face.
Ooh, this thing is looking awesome. Now I think it's time to start adding some color and really making this thing pop. To start off with the colors, I chose to start with the blue neon patches all over his body to kind of give me a little bit of a reminder where not to add too much shadow to the piece. As for the colors of everything in this piece, I chose to only go with blues and pinks for the actual colors, and for his clothes I really wanted to keep everything pretty muted and desaturated. I thought this would be kind of a cool mix with the really bright effects throughout the entire piece from the neon. So I mainly just went with grays for his jacket and pants. Now a pro tip when you're using these markers is you want to start a little bit lighter, then go darker. Once you lay down the darker color, you can kind of feather it out and get a smooth gradient by brushing over it with the lighter color again. This is something that will help make your drawings look really crisp. But I think it's time for some epic music time lapse to finish this beautiful cyberpunk samurai. All right, everyone, here is the finished piece using all the awesome materials in this box. Thank you so much, Jazza, for sending this over to me. This is definitely the most pro artist kit that you can get your hands on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and honestly, this is one of my favorite illustrations I have done in a long time. But remember, like always, keep drawing, and until next time, bye.